We're live.
I don't know what's going on, bro, but it's not letting me play the intros. What's up, everybody? Welcome to an episode of the Gauntlet. Excited to have the show tonight and, get into everything with you guys. So how we all feeling?
We had to scratch Claw to get on the air, but we're here.
Cold open, feeling good, feeling great. The goddamn Tigers are about to make the playoffs.
All right, bro. I can't hear the background music. I don't know what's going on with
The background music's playing. I couldn't hear it last week, but when I replayed the episode, it played on the actual episode, so it's good, man.
Okay, is it too loud?
No, it was good there.
Yeah, it was good.
It's good right here?
Yeah.
Yep.
Good, let's roll.
All right, so sorry about that. Just been having some issues with everything tonight. With Denzel and Dom. Today's JJ's birthday, so he's not on the show. So everybody wish him a happy birthday. Important part of our show, of course. And the Ravens beat the Cowboys this past week. So shout out to them. And speaking of the Cowboys did not look good despite the win against the Giants. I don't know if you guys had any thoughts on the game from last night, but that was my biggest takeaway. In the words of Dom, the Cowboys were just less terrible than the Giants, and they scraped out a win, and that's it.
Dak, in theory, didn't play a bad game. Neither did CeeDee Lamb, and we'll get to him in just a little bit. I think the Cowboys overlooked them by just a little bit. They let the Giants hang around too long. But that's one thing that the Giants have to realize this season, because outside of the loss to Minnesota, they have to learn that field goals are not going to win ball games. They must get in the end zone. They have to. They have to cash in and get in the end zone. I mean, let's face it, okay? Normally by like the second quarter, the Cowboys are up 2 touchdowns on the Giants. I mean, historically, recent history shows it, right? But how is it that you're within 2 points and you just keep letting them, the Cowboys, touchdown, okay, field goal. Touchdown, okay, field goal. And field goal. You know.
Well, the Giants defense did not let them score touchdown. They held the Cowboys to 20 points.
They did.
So
no run game for the Giants.
I think it goes both ways, because you hear people criticizing Sirianni for saying take the points, but in the same breath, score touchdowns. So if they go for it and don't get it, people are going to say take the points. If they lose, then people are going to say you should have went for it. So situational football is a difficult thing to discuss. There's so many things that you have to factor. A lot of teams rely on analytics, which doesn't always go well for them, by the way. So there's a lot of things you got to look at. But overall, the Cowboys didn't look good. They have a tough stretch coming up. Their next 3 games are against the Steelers, the Lions, and the 49ers. I think they will probably only win one of those games, if that. So I would not be too positive after that performance. Long story short.
Yeah, I mean, I totally get situational football. It's just that when they take a look at this during the week, one thing that will come up is when you got a team like the Dallas Cowboys, because pretty much every single year it's Cowboys or Eagles in the NFC East. And if you're going to beat the Eagles and the Cowboys of your division, you got to learn how to score touchdowns. It is what it is. You know what Dak can do. You know what Hurts can do. You're supposed to answer back with 6. At some point, yeah, sure, take the points, situational. But if you're doing nothing but kicking field goals while they score 1 or 2 touchdowns and hold you at bay, that's still a problem.
Maybe last year that would have been the case, man, but this year I'm saying it's just going to be the Eagles. I think the Eagles have their struggles, but I think that we're more close to figuring it out, whereas the Cowboys are just a dysfunctional mess, and it's going to get worse throughout the course of the season. But let's get to the Gauntlet Grinders, guys. Standout performance from the previous week. Anybody want to start us off?
Go ahead, Jay.
Oh, okay. Well, my AFC Gauntlet grinder may not be a particular favorite of a lot of people's, but hey, let's face it, he's been holding it down out there. And that's Pittsburgh quarterback Justin Fields. In the win against the Chargers 20-10, he was 25 of 32, 245 yards, a touchdown. He did throw a pick, but he finished with a 96.0 overall passer rating. But, and I'll be flat out honest with you, most of the reason why he got Gauntlet Grinder to me is because before last week, he had never won 3 in a row. And I think it's safe to say, too, well, the first thing has been long said, some time ago, and that's Fields wasn't a problem in Chicago, okay? Now, I may disagree, but Fields is showing he wasn't a problem in Chicago. Second of all, he's fitting in just well with Mike Tomlin. These last few games are better than we've seen him at any time in Chicago.
You could also say Caleb Williams is struggling, so is he performing better than Justin Fields? Probably not.
Fields was only the problem in Chicago because in Chicago, the problem is always insert quarterback's name. And I'm not even blaming it on the quarterback. I'm blaming it on that organization and their complete lack of ability to develop said quarterback.
Right. And the blame's not even, I'm not even going to lay blame on Caleb Williams because it's only been 3 games. But everyone's known it's been the coaching, it's been the organization. Notice, my verbiage said in Chicago on the Bears. But point is, Fields is showing he wasn't a problem. Anyway, NFC Gauntlet Grinder, JD5. Got to give it to him. 21 of 23, 254 yards, 2 touchdowns. He also added another 12 carries, 39 yards, and another score. 141.7 passer rating. He went on the road against Jamar Chase, against Joe Burrow, and got the job done. Just when you think the Bengals were back in the game, he comes out there and widens the gap. He really is doing some great things out there thus far. I know it's only been 3 games, but far and away, he's been the best-looking rookie.
And 0 for 0 on 4th down attempts because they never faced a 4th down because they never punted.
Dom, what you got, man?
NFC, I've got the 2-headed monster of David Montgomery and Jahmyr Gibbs, 39 carries, 188 yards, and a touchdown, along with 20 bonus receiving yards on that hook and lateral touchdown for Jahmyr Gibbs. David Montgomery had more rushing attempts than Jared Goff did passing attempts, which fucking love to see it. AFC, I'm going Josh Allen, 23-30, 263 yards, 4 touchdowns. The Bills look for real again. I thought their window was closed. They're paying Josh Allen all that money. They lost Diggs, didn't do enough to replace him at wide receiver. They do have a run game, and their defense has been respectable for basically Josh Allen's whole career.
If the season ended today, Josh would probably be the MVP.
Yep.
Yeah, and Sam Darnold would be the NFC's candidate.
Probably.
Crazy times we're living in, eh?
I don't think it's crazy for Josh Allen, but definitely for Sam Darnold.
Also, speaking of Justin Fields, did not have Justin Fields winning 3 games straight and having a 78 completion percentage in any game.
Also,
did not see that coming.
Mike Tomlin also said that whenever Russell Wilson is healthy, he will announce who's going to be the starter. So I just feel like this is dumb and drawn out. We know that Justin Fields should keep the job. If he keeps winning games and he gets to 4-0, 5-0, there's no way.
Yeah.
There's no way you can go to Russell Wilson
Because he's got the momentum.
Justin Fields is the guy for the
only team I know that yanks a starting quarterback with a winning record. Oh, that was the Bears and Mitch Trubisky.
Well, the Bears would be the team to do that, and you can see where they are now.
Back in the basement. Their voices must be hoarse at this point.
If they didn't get lucky against the Titans, they would be 0-3. So, it is what it is. For me, AFC is Derrick Henry. Great performance they had against the Cowboys. Could not stop the run. The Ravens ran the ball 45 out of 60 times in the game. Just completely pushed around Micah Parsons and the Cowboys defense, which going into the season was spoken about like they're an elite defense. They showed us that they are not elite, and they have a lot of problems, as we were talking about earlier. Still didn't look that impressive against the Giants, but that's a game that they had to win. If they lost that game, we would have a totally different conversation right now. with where the Cowboys are at. But definitely a great performance from Derrick Henry. Kind of looked vintage at times as well, like the way he was running through people and making plays like that, like he used to do in Tennessee. And in the NFC, I think I'm going to shout out to Dallas Goedert because Dallas Goedert had a career day. He had 10 catches for 170 yards against the Saints. Had the long play on the crossing route that got the Eagles down the field on the 3rd and 16 on the last drive, which was capped off with a Saquon Barkley touchdown, which Saquon had 17 carries for 147, 2 touchdowns. So another good game for Barkley and a much-needed win for the Eagles against the Saints, who was really being talked about for the first 2 weeks of the season as a really good team that put up 40-something points. Really only put up 3 points for the majority of the game, scored a touchdown late in the fourth quarter. So the Eagles defense really kind of like shut them down. So despite the issues that the team is having, I think that winning a game like that the way that they did is something that you got to be pretty pleased about. That's my 2 gauntlet grinders for this week.
Yeah, we all sat there and watched that game, and when it counted, the Eagles, they really pulled it off. Now, you had the 2 turnovers by Hurts, but that's a testament to the Eagles' defense and being able to have that not end in touchdowns. And then the Eagles just stayed in it. That was one of the better defensive games that I had seen them play. And not saying that they
in a while
off or anything like that, but that was one of the better defensive games because you got to think about it like this.
It was coming off a really bad defensive game against the Falcons.
Yeah, that too, but also you had a Saints team that scored 40 plus in 2 straight games, ran into the Eagles, and the Eagles held them to 12. That's saying a lot. And Kamara was coming off of a beast game against Dallas.
Alvin Kamara only 3 yards carrying the game.
Proof that the Saints aren't for real, because you put up 40 points 2 weeks in a row, and then you face that kind of soft Eagles defense, and you score 12. Come on.
Well, I don't think the Eagles defense is soft. I just think that they need to be more consistent. When you look across the board, they got players. They got players in the secondary. Slay's been there. Quinyon Mitchell's been really impressive. He leads the league in pass breakups as a rookie corner, really having a good season. And then Jalen Carter's a household name. He was all over the field in this game. He could have also been a gauntlet grinder, to be honest. So let's move on, though. Let's talk about the sports morons of the week, which, as you guys know, is a time of show where we discuss the dumbest takes, the dumbest moments in sports, and rant and get stuff off our chest. Talking about Jalen Carter a moment ago, and that was our reaction at the draft in Kansas City when our old friend Kirk, who used to be on the show quite a bit, would tell us that it was a reach of a pick. So good memories, good times. Sports Moron of the Week. Time to get some rants out of our chest. Does anybody want to go first?
I'll go real quick. It's the Los Angeles Chargers for allowing Pistons owner, known reputed cokehead alcoholic Tom Gores to buy a stake in the team. What are you doing, Chargers? This is why you have no fan base. You couldn't get people to come to your games in San Diego. Now you're sharing a stadium with the Rams. There's no Chargers fans there either. There's probably more Rams fans than Chargers fans, which is to say, 10-4. But come on, Rams. The other thing I don't understand is, last I knew, you couldn't own even 1% of any NFL team if you owned another professional sports franchise. But leave it to Gores to find a loophole in that. And sorry, Chargers fans.
Yeah, that's definitely a Chargers gonna Charger type of moment. To use Dom's quote, but Denzel, what is your sports moron?
So my sports moron on the week goes out to whoever the hell Giants366 is on Twitter. So they criticized the drop that Malik Neighbors had late last night. But I'm just going to read to you what this clown said, okay? Malik Neighbors is 2 drops on 2 game-defining 4th down plays this season. He's the entire offense. He's incredible, but he also needs to catch the football in these big moments. We love Malik, but he's got to fix the drops. Garrett Wilson of the Jets, shout out to him for
clapping back.
He said, shut up, bro. He kept it simple. Here's my deal, okay? Never mind the freaking fact that Malik Neighbors just last week, who was a Gauntlet Grinders candidate, but I went with JD5. This man had 8 receptions for 78 yards and 2 touchdowns. He became the youngest wide receiver ever to have a multi-touchdown game. And for him to say some shit like that, not to mention, Malik Neighbors got hurt on that play. You know that? Oh, Tigers must have hit a home run or something. But,
No, almost.
But yeah, that's my sports moron. And then not only that, but it's week 3. I don't expect the Giants to be much this year, but damn, he's only in his 3rd game and he's already. You know what? You are right. He is the offense. But see, I don't hear you loud enough for Daniel Jones's play. Just saying. Go ahead, James.
Damn, it's hard for me to say if I have a sports moron this week, to be honest, but I did say there was something that I wanted to talk about on the show tonight, which was Shedeur Sanders' comments that he made saying,
"Oh God,
if he doesn't make it to the NFL, he's gonna be on the streets." First of all, we got to break this whole thing down. This guy's dad is a millionaire. I don't know how much Deion is actually worth, but I'm pretty sure the guy's worth millions of dollars because from his career earnings in the NFL, endorsement deals, he was with the NFL Network for a little bit, doing TV stuff with them. I used to watch Deion like on the game day wrap-up show that they had on NFL Network. I don't know if you guys ever watched it, but he was on there as well. And now he's making a lot of money in Colorado. So this guy comes from a pretty good situation, I would say. And, this guy's probably driving to school when he was in high school, whatever. First got his license, driving with a Rolls Royce or something to school. So I really don't want to hear anything about how if he doesn't succeed as an NFL player, he's going to be on the street. Also, another part that I want to bring up, this is also kind of disrespectful to Deion if you think about it, because you saying this also sends a message of, like, what does it say about Deion as a father that if you fail at this one thing, that you're going to be on the street? So I actually think it's pretty disrespectful to talk like this. Pretty disrespectful to his father to, be speaking like this in the first place. So that's my thoughts. I would say that this guy knows absolutely nothing about the term "get it out the mud." Doesn't know what the mud is. Doesn't know what the streets is or streets are. So that's pretty much my take and my thoughts about it.
Yeah. So
are you saying Shedeur Sanders isn't taking his college education seriously?
Basically, Shedeur Sanders, the way he sounded. So we've all heard rappers say in interviews, if this rap shit don't crack off, I'm back on the block selling rocks. That's how he sounded. That literally is how he sounded. Like, you can't make this up.
He's becoming a bigger moronic candidate, because also there was this time that he threw his offensive line under the bus. I don't know if you saw the interview, but there was a game where I think it was against Nebraska, where he was like, how many times did the other quarterback get hit? And that's really disrespectful to your team.
He also refused to shake hands with the Colorado State quarterback after that one game. Yeah, I was going to say before you said it, Shedeur's been at least a nominee for Moron of the Week several weeks so far.
Who knows? We'll have to see how the rest of the season plays out. And then the Gauntlet show at the end of the season. Who's going to win? It's going to be really interesting, guys. But when we get back, we're going to have a pretty interesting debate. Debating the top receivers in the league and where do certain guys fall. Let's see what our lists are like and like how they compare to each other. Definitely really excited to have this debate, and we'll be right back. Guys, Sideline Sports, all the people across the Sideline Sports Network, thank you guys for watching and tuning in. Top 5 receivers in the league, or if we want to take it further and we even make the top 10, you can also do that. Denzel, this was your idea because we were actually texting about this last night, so I want you to go ahead.
All right, so shout out to Mafi for the topic idea, man. Mafi O'Keefe with me. We spent years, talking football-ish on Facebook. I don't know how many times, So he came out on the post.
Let's do this like one step at a time.
Okay.
First, who do you got number 1?
Okay. So on my top 5 list, I had Justin Jefferson.
Okay.
You know what? I'll be honest with you. I didn't have it in any particular order.
But just for the sake of the segment, we're gonna make it in order. So okay. you're saying Jefferson number 1. Dom, who you saying number 1?
Jefferson also.
Okay, I'm also saying Jefferson.
Okay. My second one, I said Tyreek Hill.
Tyreek?
I had Tyreek as well.
That answer.
Say again?
I had Tyreek as well.
Based off of the stats and production,
come on, Homer.
I would have to say he's there, but he just doesn't have the skill set that I want. I would rather have a receiver that's bigger and physical and can go up and make the plays.
And his name is?
A.J. Brown.
Thank you, Homer.
You could just come out with it, just so we knew you was going to say A.J. But
I gotta say that. But
it's okay. He's a worthy candidate. At the end of the day, I would.
If he's not in the top 5, then you're wrong. But number 3. Number 3.
Okay.
Let's keep going.
My third one, Jamar Chase.
Same.
Interesting. Tyreek, obviously. I think AJ is better than Jamar, and if you look at the stats, it probably also says that. Because outside of his rookie season, Jamar was great that season. He's missed some time with injury after that, and
still had 1,000 yards in 10 games.
He's a good player, but I don't know. The Bengals don't really think he's worth the Justin Jefferson paycheck. So I don't know. He's got to stay healthy. He's got to stay healthy. He's got to put up a good season and put the pressure on the Bengals. So what we're at? 3?
Yeah. So number 4, I had AJ.
Okay. I'm fine with that.
Yeah. Also same.
Okay. This is where it's going to start to get more tricky. Because I think that Devontae Adams is still a top 5 receiver in the game. I think the reason why not
without A.J. Brown.
I don't think it's him. I think he's playing with terrible quarterback situation, and going to the Raiders was just a really bad decision. Imagine if he stayed in Green Bay with Jordan Love with the receivers that they have.
If you're that good, it shouldn't matter. Ask DeAndre Hopkins.
To be fair, I don't blame him. I don't blame him for the move because he wanted to reunite with his best friend Derek Carr. Now he didn't know that the Raiders were going to ship off Derek Carr.
Now he's with the Saints.
And so I mean, very few people would pass up the opportunity to go play with their best friend. But so I'm not gonna hold his feet to the fire for that. That was just on the Raiders for shipping him off, and he didn't see that coming. But anyhow, number 5, I got Mike Evans.
Okay, that's where we're gonna have a disagreement. That's where we're gonna have a disagreement. Dom, who you got?
There's after those first 4 I mean, it could be. I can't decide. I could say Devontae Adams. I could easily say Mike Evans. I could say Amon-Ra St. Brown. I would probably say Devontae Adams, but really, after the top 2 or 3, the next 7, 8 guys, it's so tough.
Yeah, honestly, based off of right now, I'm not taking him over CeeDee Lamb. CeeDee Lamb has the production. CeeDee Lamb, first team All-Pro last year, had the best season of his career.
That's funny because he was supposed to be the focal point of the whole topic, and I literally completely forgot about CeeDee Lamb just now.
So
he has impressed me.
I'm not taking Mike Evans over CeeDee Lamb.
At this stage of his career, I might take Lamb as well, but you can't argue with what Mike Evans does year after year after year times 10.
I think he's good. I think he's in the top 10. I don't think he's in the top 5.
Thank you for not saying Chris Godwin.
My criteria on this, and then I'll let y'all, say y'all piece. Mike Evans has been in 10 seasons, and all 10 seasons he put up 1,000 yards. And for 7 of those seasons, Winston was throwing him the ball. So this is another receiver who's kind of done more with less. So the production, I'm looking at the consistency here. That's my criteria. Everyone's criteria is different. I respect it,
Last season, CeeDee Lamb, 135 catches, 17, 49, and 12 touchdowns. I think that's pretty good production.
But without a real legit number 2, Mike Evans has had Chris Godwin for 6-7 years. Fuck Chris Godwin, but he is he's probably, if it's not Devontae Smith, Chris Godwin is the best wide receiver 2 in the NFL.
I'm taking Devontae Smith without hesitation. But
I would too.
Smith, I
would definitely take him over Godwin, because fuck Chris Godwin.
Okay, so what are we at now? 6? Let's go through the top 10.
I just did
through the top 10.
I just did 5, but okay.
So that's 5. All right, 6.
I take Lamb at 6.
So you'll take Lamb at 6. Okay,
Same.
I don't have a problem with that.
Same.
I'll take Lamb at 6. 7. Man,
hold on. I'm probably gonna put Jamar at 6.
You got Jamar at 6?
Yeah.
Okay, that's fair. I'll put Devontae Smith at 7.
Really? Seems a little high, but I respect it.
I'll put him at 7. Who you got, Dom?
Wait a minute. Did he just say that you picking Smith at 6 and James you picked him in the top 5? I'm confused.
No, I put AJ in the top 5. I said that for Smith, I think that it's tricky to talk about this.
Wait, where are we at? 6, 7.
I said I had Jamar Chase at 6. He said he had Devontae Smith at 7.
I would say, like I said, I had various candidates for 5 through 10. So I don't know, pick one. I'll go Amon-Ra. Because he certainly doesn't have any help at wide out.
DK Metcalf.
DK, yeah. Can't be mad. Can't be mad at that.
I got him at 8. What about you, Dom?
It's 7 or 8. I'm okay with DK there.
8, yeah.
So we're at 8. Yep. I will go with Mike Evans at 8.
Yeah, I'm good with that. Evans was going to be my next one.
Okay. 9.
9, I'll go St. Brown.
St. Brown. Yeah, I'll go ahead and put Sun God at 9.
Even though he's been hurt, I might put Cooper Kupp at 9.
If he's healthy, I don't got a problem with it.
That's funny because y'all gonna call me crazy. Well, I don't know. I'll just put. Okay, I got Puka at 10. His rookie year was nasty.
Yeah, Matt Stafford effect. Come on.
Yeah.
Don't hurt your back. Don't hurt your back while you're reaching.
Would it be crazy for me to put Nico Collins at 10?
Not at all. Nico Collins.
Because I actually think Nico Collins is
the fucking man.
he's having a great start to the year.
Yeah, he is. Absolutely. No, not at all. Who you got it?
Notice no one said Stephon Diggs. Went from being a top 5 wide receiver in the NFL to a top 2 wide receiver on his team.
Who you got at 10, Dom?
Oh, who's left? There's got to be a wild card in there somewhere. Who am I not thinking of? I don't know. Maybe Debo when healthy.
At 10? Nah, Debo's not even the best receiver on his team. You got Debo over Ayuk?
Yes, because Brandon Ayuk is a flash in the pan. Look at him now. Debo's out. CMC's out. Kittle's out. Oh, look! He can't get open!
Yeah,
he's another one of those wide receiver 2s who got wide receiver 1 money, and he cannot consistently beat coverage on a CB1.
I don't think either one of them's a wide receiver 1.
Maybe not. I stick to my story, Thompson Simpson.
That was pretty fun. Like, I really enjoyed, like, just going around and giving our top 10. But some honorable mention guys that I want to bring up. Definitely people like Devontae Smith should be in the conversation. Got smoked by that guy in the Saints game. Helmet flew off. The guy only got fined like $5,000, so that was crazy. Obviously, Puka is a beast. I would put Garrett Wilson, DJ Moore, some guys
Olave.
like that. Olave's pretty good. So, guys like that are not quite in the top 10, but still really good.
The wide receiver position is in very good shape, and a lot of these guys are young.
Yeah. Dom, you know what? An honorable mention would be J-Mo. Look at me.
Only this season.
Easy. 2 games. You know what he did last week? 1 catch on 4 targets. You know what? Good with that. He's not a high target, high volume guy. They're force feeding him the ball. I like J-Mo.
Bring up Terry McLaurin too.
Scary Terry.
Absolutely. Yeah, glad to see the Foreskins wake up and be like, oh, we got this McLaurin guy. He's the most underrated wide receiver in the NFL. Maybe we'll target him.
And he finally got a quarterback.
100 yards.
I mean, and JD5 is not scared to go deep. When he sees McLaurin on that one-on-one, he letting it rip. I'm happy for Terry. He finally got him a quarterback, man.
I like the Foreskins. Dark horse for a wild card spot.
You got dark horse. Okay, that's fair. Dark horse for a wild card spot. You think they can make a wild card, James?
I have to think about it for a second.
The NFC is a fucking mess. 9 wins and a tiebreaker, you're in.
Well, you know what? The Packers are in a pretty good position because they haven't.
They'll get a wild card too when Detroit wins the division.
I think they've won. I think they're 2-0 without Jordan Love.
They are. Malik Willis won 2 straight. People thought it was going to be this big fall off and everything, and then when Jordan Love comes back,
I thought the Lions would probably run away with the division since Jordan Love was going to be out, but.
Is he going to play this week? They still haven't said.
No. Well, initially they said it was going to be 5 to 6 weeks anyway.
Right. I wouldn't be rushing him back anyways. Like, you take an L to the Vikings, no big deal.
The sentiment was that, when Jordan Love comes back, they had a whole lot of catch up to do. They might not have that much by the time he gets back.
Jordan Love
is a mistake-free ball.
If he comes back and plays well, then I would probably take them to win the division because I don't think Detroit has looked the same like they did last year. So I don't know what issues they're having, but
we're just trying to get right before the bye week.
It doesn't look. I don't know. Detroit has not been extremely impressive, but it should.
No, not at all. But I said it was going to be a tight race.
NFC South, I don't know who's going to take it.
No one.
I think it's
throw the whole division away.
Tampa was everyone's pick before the season. I don't know, especially after how we saw them play against Denver. I don't know if this team I think Baker is not the problem, but the offensive line looks bad. I just don't know. Atlanta, I think, is an interesting team. They probably should have beat the Chiefs.
Atlanta's sweet on paper.
I don't know.
Do you think that
That's the only one I don't know.
Do you think that the NFC South can produce a 10-win team? 10 wins.
Yeah. Oh yeah, I think either the Falcons or the Saints can probably pull it off.
When was the last
But not Tampa? You don't think Tampa gets to 10 wins?
Have you seen Tampa? Like Baker's running for his life. How many sacks did the Lions have against him? They had like 5 sacks in that game, and then he got sacked like 4 times the other day. He's getting like Baker is getting killed. The offensive line is a problem for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. So that's really the reason I don't think they're going to win.
Brady was playing, and I know it wasn't that long ago. That was the last time that an NFC South team had 10 wins. The wild card game when they lost to the Rams, yeah, that was it. For the years followed, it was
because they won like 8 games.
And 9 and 8, yeah.
They won the division with 8 games, like the next season.
Yeah, and so that's why I was asking, can a team win 10 games in that division this year?
I think so.
I still think somebody wins 10.
The Saints only need to win 8 more the rest of the season.
You kind of figure
the Falcons only 8 more.
If you have a team that finishes with 8 or 9 wins, it's safe to say that a couple of games during the season beforehand, they left some money on the table, right?
Yeah.
So if they can clean that up, then yeah, you would get a 10-17.
I mean, a lot of people were real hype on Atlanta and thought they were going to win 12-13 games.
It's just too unpredictable for me to say. I don't know. The Falcons were my pick before the season, though.
Me too.
Well,
so
yeah, before we move, I mean, as far as CeeDee, do you all see him going over 1,700 this year or under, but still 1,000?
He's definitely getting over 1,000. He probably won't get 17.
Going to 17? What about you, Dom?
Yeah, 15, maybe even 1,600, not 17.
The Cowboys are still going to be struggling. So
yeah, I can see 1,500.
In the East, the Eagles will probably win the division. You know what? Washington is probably going to get a wild card spot because I'm trying to go through the whole NFC and look at who could potentially be the 3 wild card teams. One of them will probably be from the NFC North, maybe 2 of them. Because Minnesota looks good too. And then who's the biggest other threat to Washington?
Yeah.
So you don't think anyone but the division winner in the West will get in? I mean, I'm not necessarily buying Seattle right now, but
I said the Cardinals could be there.
The Cardinals. So we've got all 4 teams in play.
The Rams, Seattle. I keep forgetting about Seattle as well, but
yeah.
Oh, 3-0 undefeated Seattle?
It's
forgetting about them?
I'm not too.
You better put some respect on Eugene Cyril Smith III's name.
No.
About to be 4-0.
Who they got this week?
Us.
Oh, the Lions?
We have not beat Seattle since God was a child.
Y'all ain't been Seattle in a long time?
Are the Lions at home?
0-5, 0-6, going back to like 2014.
Is it in Detroit or Seattle?
It's here. That doesn't matter. They beat us here multiple times in that losing streak.
You played against.
It's Gino. We cannot. Last week is the best I've seen us play against a mobile quarterback in a decade.
He's not that mobile, bro. He's not.
He's mobile enough to beat us.
He's not like Lamar Jackson.
Whoa, no. Gino's got our number. Seattle has our number. I'm going double reverse Juju again. I'll be rocking that Kenneth Walker jersey. Hopefully it works 2 weeks in a row.
You don't even got your own team to win this week.
Why do you wear another team's jersey while your team is playing?
Double reverse Juju. I only do it when I'm really scared that we might not win. That was last week.
Are you going to do it when you play against the Cowboys?
I do not have a Cowboys jersey. I will never have a Cowboys jersey.
Get a CeeDee Lamb jersey.
I think we will beat Dallas.
I think they will too.
James, you had Dallas not making the postseason at all, didn't you? Before the season?
I did.
As did I.
I have no reason to think they will based off the first 3 games.
I don't think so either.
According to your picks, then the 2 wild cards coming out of the NFC East, Eagles, Washington, sounds about right.
We're 3 outs away from the postseason.
Whoa, non-sports topic?
What is the non-sports topic?
Something about as a rap artist. What you said, a 5-city tour?
Yeah. So, as a hip hop artist, pick one 5-city tour: the Middle East, Africa, or South America. Any 5 cities.
So I can only pick 5 cities from one of these countries?
From one region, yeah. From one region.
One continent.
Okay.
It was originally North America, but I changed to South America.
I don't know.
I'll go first. I'll set the pace on this one. I picked Africa. I did. You figure Cairo, Nairobi, Casablanca, Lagos, and Johannesburg. Keep in mind, Johannesburg is known as the city of gold. It's one of the richest, if not the richest, city in the entire continent. Everyone knows how full of resources it is and everything. So the money is definitely there. Also, keep in mind, it doubles because part of Africa is in the Middle East. Cairo, Egypt kind of falls under 2 regions in this one. But my pick was Africa.
Africa.
I'm going South America. I can't pick my 5 cities, but wait, what were the other continent choices? South America, Africa,
the
Middle East. Yeah, no, thank you. Like, I want to make it out alive. Especially if it's me personally as a white rapper. Not going to Africa, not going to the Middle East, so I'm going South America by default.
By default. Okay, so you figure, so Brazil, you playing Buenos Aires,
Yep.
Maybe in Chile. Well, again, I mean, you're picking the cities, man.
Sao Paulo.
Hey, the Eagles and the Packers made it up out of there alive. I mean, I'm sure y'all can too.
I don't know, man. I'm not sure I would want to have a tour in any of these places. I don't think
that's what I'm saying.
I think Europe would probably be the number one choice. It has like better cities for as far as like a tour.
Yeah. Go to like Italy, France, England.
You could go to Paris. You could go to Munich, Germany. You could go to London. You can go to all these places, man. And
somewhere in Italy.
These are the best places in the world.
Russia. Russia's part of Asia. Europe? Asia?
In the U.S., you got like Los Angeles, NYC.
Yeah.
Miami. Chicago.
We did.
Probably Dallas.
Well, no, I said United States. What about just anywhere in North America? So we're going to count Canada and Mexico too.
Anywhere
okay.
in America?
Anywhere in North America, yeah.
Okay. I'm going Toronto, Mexico City, LA, New York, Chicago.
Okay.
Okay, Vegas, LA, New York City, Houston, Philadelphia.
I was going to say, don't forget Philadelphia.
Wait, you do all United States, not nowhere in Canada or Mexico?
Where am I going to pick in Canada? Like Montreal or...
Toronto! That is the New York of America Junior.
No.
Toronto is dope. I'm going to Toronto soon because I'm finally allowed legally back in their country.
I'm not picking Toronto because of Drake. That's it.
Fair as fuck. I'm crossing Toronto off my list and picking Philadelphia.
I would have to say probably Miami, LA, New York, Mexico City, and
wait, does that count?
You know what?
Listen, so dude just slid off the base, had the ball in his mitt, reached back and touched the base with his throwing hand. Is that still an out? He touched the bag.
Yeah, it's an out. Yeah, if he was in possession of the ball. Yeah, unique, but it's still an out. But Canada, yeah, I'm gonna try out Vancouver.
Oh, yes.
I'm
Yes.
gonna try out Vancouver.
He said Vancouver.
Vancouver is dope.
Maybe the attendance could bring them in talks of bringing the basketball team back to Vancouver. I don't know, but yeah, I'd try out Vancouver. Ain't heard anything bad about up there, but yeah, but North America, definitely some. Now, would y'all ever play in Central America?
Oh, they called him safe, these motherfuckers.
All right. How about a non-sports topic? Or did I say that right? Or
non-sports. He was out.
It's related to sports, but it's also kind of different.
He was safe.
So,
what's a city that you would like to see host the Super Bowl, other than like all the normal ones that do it, like LA, Miami, Vegas, New Orleans, places like that? Like,
I want to see another one in Jacksonville. Said no one ever.
this is gonna
Wait, so you mean like a non-NFL city?
No.
How about you know what? How about Detroit? Because Detroit has a dome. They had the draft. The draft was amazing.
They had one there.
The draft
was
crazy.
They did a good job. The Super Bowl here was good, but
Detroit could do the Super Bowl. They have a dome. Why not?
we could. Just because you can doesn't mean you should. I'm actually going. The game's not there this year, but I think I'm going to Vegas for Super Bowl weekend. My stepdad was like, "Hey, if the Lions get into the Super Bowl, would you want to go to Vegas?" And I was like, "Well, thanks for jinxing us, but yes."
You guys are going to lose the first round now.
Right. Well, I mean, I told him, and I'm like, I thought about it, and it's like, even if we do get there, are we waiting until 2 weeks before to decide if we go? So I was like, it sounds like we're just going to Vegas to watch the Super Bowl. The Lions get there, awesome. If not, party in Vegas.
Okay. This is gonna sound downright evil, but Soldier Field, a snow Super Bowl would be diabolical.
Yes.
Yeah, but that's. I think those kind of options are off the table because
they did it that one year in New Jersey, and they somehow got great weather. I've always been all.
When's the last time the Super Bowl was played at NRG, or has it never been there?
Yeah, it's been there twice. The last time was 28-3.
Oh, is that where it was?
Yeah. Tom Brady won twice in our city.
I love it. All you have to say is 28-3, and everyone knows exactly what you're talking about, and not just the three of us.
Yeah.
What do you guys think was worse? 3-1 Golden State or 28-3?
28-3.
8-3.
I think it's 3-1.
But I
think it's 3-1 because anybody can do in the NFL because it's a one-off. But
True.
When you're in the finals or the World Series, they have like 3 more opportunities to win the series.
To close it out, yeah.
And they
didn't Boston win a World Series though after coming back from down 3-0 in the LCS?
It was ALCS, yeah. So that's actually pretty bad, and they did it to the hated rivals too. But
the only reason people don't say it's worse is because Golden State actually won other rings, and Atlanta doesn't have any rings. Yeah. That's what I think.
But if Golden State had never won a ring, it'd be that much bad.
Yeah, I think in absolute terms, the 3-1 is worse because, as I said,
3-1.
NFL. One off.
We just made the goddamn playoffs with
NBA,
Skubal
baseball,
and question marks.
Series. So even if I go down 0-2, which the Milwaukee Bucks did against the Suns, they won 4 straight. You see what I mean? So,
I mean, it's the Suns. They didn't belong there anyways.
You have more opportunities.
Yeah, now, on the other side of the fence,
But let's be real. Everybody said the Suns were going to win the finals that year after they won.
Not me.
2-0.
Not me.
I think most people did because they were like, "Oh my God, Chris Paul, he deserves a ring. This, that."
Deserves one doesn't mean he's ever going to get one. Chris Paul is championship poison.
Is he more poison than James Harden?
No, James Harden is Chris Paul 2.0 in that regard. If you don't want to win an NBA title,
I think
acquire James Harden.
Are any of them any more poison than Kyrie Irving?
No, Kyrie is not.
Kyrie got one, and he hit a clincher. He is penis cancer, but he does have a ring.
Yeah.
And he contributed.
If he was, then it should have affected the Mavs.
Yeah.
The Mavs were just not better than the Celtics, so they couldn't win.
Yeah, that was one of those.
The Celtics are so in that man's head.
Yeah, that was one of
He
those.
got one win against them since he left. In like 9 tries.
Yeah. I wish it was different, but
That's what happens when you're penis cancer.
I mean, at least he got back to the finals, you know. But that was the Celtics were the absolute best team all year, though, and I wouldn't be surprised if a lot of people said before Game 1, "No, the Celtics are going to win."
they're not winning it this year.
I mean, Dallas won't get back to the finals, but as a fail-safe,
Neither
they were
will
like,
the Celtics.
just in case we do, we better go reacquire Spencer Dinwiddie, because he's more clutch in the playoffs, sum total, than Kyrie Irving.
No, the hell he is not. What makes you think that? Kyrie hit one of the most clutch shots ever. In the finals.
He did. I was just defending him. Now I'm attacking him. But yeah, as a Maverick, especially God forbid against Boston, which neither team will be there. But all things being the same, if they had Spencer Dinwiddie, they wouldn't have got gentlemen swept minimally.
Okay,
I'm just glad he's off the Lakers, so I can burn that Lakers jersey.
Since we have all this extra time, I've always wanted to do this on the show. You know how like we always have sports moron of the week, and like sometimes we have one, and sometimes we don't. If you had to give a sports moron of all time, what would it be? It could be anything in sports of all time. Anybody's take that you ever heard that was just trash. Anything you heard like on TV, the radio that was trash, or something that happened in the actual game.
It's Major League Baseball for not letting Pete Rose into the Hall of Fame until the year after he dies.
Yeah, that's pretty bad.
Yeah, that's it. And especially now that they're actually making money off gambling. That was just.
And he never gambled. The only time he gambled on his own team, he gambled for them.
So Jay, what you gonna say about this?
Roger Goodell comes to mind.
Oh shit.
Yeah.
Because they, regardless of how people may feel as Colin Kaepernick as a quarterback, he was fucking blackballed from the NFL. And it took a man dying on camera for him to finally say Kaepernick was right. Never mind what the other players were saying. Never mind what the other activists were saying or anything like that. I'm not going to get political or anything like that and mention a certain person's name, okay? But the fact remains this. You didn't listen to your people. You had access to so many people to get information. You didn't. You let rich white billionaires get in your head.
That's the most powerful organization in this entire country. The Billionaire Boys Club. They cut Donald Trump out of the owner's box. We, the three of us and the other American voting public, could not keep him out of the Oval Office.
There's probably people in the NFL that are like NFL owners that was a worse person than Donald Trump.
I'm not saying he's a worse person. I'm just saying those other 31 dudes were like, no, dude, you can't be in our club.
He probably knows, but the guy that passed away, the McNair, that guy was a terrible.
Oh, yeah, he's the worst person.
Bob McNair, yeah.
And remember the guy with the Clippers? He was also terrible.
Yep.
Yeah.
Sterling.
Oh yeah, worse people. I'm just saying that's how powerful the NFL owners are.
When you come out and say, and I'm paraphrasing, but when you come out and say like the prisoners can't run the prison or whatever he said, that's horrible. Like,
it's just crazy because is there an NFL owner that's black? No. I know that the guy used to be a minority owner of the Panthers, BET's CEO, he was black, but you're talking about the NFL owners, 32 guys, old, rich, racist, misogynist. They wanted no part of Donald Trump back in the 80s. And he ruined the USFL. That's a worse offense than anything he did as president.
Yeah,
there was another viable pro football league, and because they wouldn't let you play in the sandbox in the NFL, you destroyed that league. Fuck you, Donald Trump. Felonies aside.
If Kamala wins the election, do you think that Trump should try to buy
He has no chance. Donald Trump he's going to win again on this fight vote. Like I just said, what is the average demographic of the registered and active U.S. voter? Old, white, racist, misogynist. She's a woman and she's black. She has no chance.
Well, I just don't. Really
Even the Trumpers that say they aren't Trumpers anymore, they're like, not voting for that black bitch.
I just don't believe Kamala is.
She's not a viable candidate.
I don't think she's genuine. I think she's just like a BS politician.
A politician isn't genuine. What do you mean?
But I think
that's why I don't vote.
But
thank you. Me neither.
I also think that Trump is too radical and dangerous to give him like that much power. So that's why I agree.
I agree. That's why I don't vote. Some Trumpers showed up at my house the other day. Who are you voting for? I was like, not Donald Trump. Get off my porch.
All right, so hold up. I got to give my answer for the sports question. Mine would have to be J.R. Smith. Because when the moment of him dribbling the ball, which you can say the Cavs, like, they probably could still lose the series anyway, but just for that particular game, game one, the situation that was there, LeBron had 50 points in that game.
Getting Tyler Ingram
was carrying the team, and then, bro, I'm just never gonna forget that day. I remember where I was watching the game, and J.R. Smith just like, he was off the henny.
J.R. Smith?
Yeah.
And they lost.
Yeah, and literally that one play took all the air out of the team because the Warriors all but dominated. It's crazy because when George Hill missed that free throw and Smith came down with it, I'm like, good, put it back up. He starts running backwards. I'm like, what are you doing? And then LeBron's reaction was priceless.
The meme, just like putting his hands up like that.
And then you had LeBron haters, of course, like, LeBron's supposed to be better than that. He's supposed to be the leader of the team, reacting like that. And I'm like,
how else would you react?
I'm about certain. And these same people have worked a lesser job. I'm about certain they've worked with an idiot coworker and they've reacted way worse. Exactly, how would you react? I don't care if it's national TV. Like, you fucking moron.
J.R. Smith for sure, bro.
This is basic sports. You have to know how many timeouts you have. And history, I get it, but you have to know what the score is.
Right, the score and the number of timeouts you have.
And you know what? Shout out to Chris Webber, man.
I knew you were going to say that.
The whole Michigan thing, I get it. You know what I'm saying?
Someone on the bench was like, but even if they do, you got to know.
Yeah, but also to forget what the score is or how much time is left on the clock, inexcusable.
Oh yeah, that's the other thing. You got to know how much time's left on the clock. But you can look up and see the score, how much time's left, and the number of timeouts that you have. Right. Just look up.
Well, hey, 30 seconds left in the show.
Any last words? for the show.
Congratulations on the Detroit Tigers for making the postseason with Tariq Skubal and a bunch of AAA arms and 6 or 7 AAA bats in the starting lineup. One hell of a September.
Who do you guys got making the World Series? Just before we get off the show.
Well, of course, I'm pulling for the Astros, but if we don't make it, I actually have the Phillies winning it.
Nice. So
Yeah,
you got the Astros winning the AL, though?
Have who?
You got the Astros in the AL, though?
Yeah, I have the Astros in the AL.
Nice.
If not us, it just may be the Yankees, but if it's the Phillies, beat them.
I don't think so, bro. Teams that are big teams like this, like the Dodgers and the Yankees, they always choke. So I'm gonna pick the Phillies in the NL, and then the AL. I don't know. Give me the Cleveland or somebody.
Baltimore.
Who you got, Dom?
Baltimore and the Phillies.
Nice.
All
All right, that's it, folks. We will see you next week.